Yeah, for those wondering, I was flexing my Sonos sound bar. So Sonos, please sponsor us. I love your products. I have 3 Sonos speakers, 1 lamp, 2 sound bars, and I can connect to all 3 of them at one time. Best part about Sonos. That's the
I got a
gem.
question. All right, so I got a question. So, say if I wanted to plug my iPod into one of these Sonos soundbars, could I then stream that audio from speaker to speaker, or do we need to do a field test?
That's a good like plug it in how though.
Auxiliary. Does it have auxiliary input?
I don't. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Some of them do, and some of them do not.
Right.
And it's a generation thing. Like the newer ones don't, but the old ones do. Because I know that I used to have I had one that had an aux port that you could like plug your headphones into if you wanted to come into your headphones instead of out of the speaker. So that was like to stream from the thing. So I imagine it would reverse as well. But no, I don't think it would play from speaker to speaker. I don't see how they would do that. But
I have
that
one
seems like a uniquely you issue.
Well, no, I mean, my JBL speakers can do that. You know, the I don't know what number they are, but the boom ones, like I can plug my iPod into one of them, link it to the other speaker, and then boom, surround sound.
Oh, that's
analog
surprising.
style, you know, so
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I've tried to figure out every hoop to jump through when it comes to like configuration of sound systems, like in a DIY standpoint in my house. So I figured out some systems, but Sonos has been one that's on my radar because of the multifaceted, like throughout the house surround system, or even control one speaker versus another. So I'm
it's super sick. They can, but this one, like the one in my guest room, and this TV, it plugs in with it's not an aux cable, but like the sound output, like sound audio TV cable, whatever the fuck that is. But the one downstairs is like straight HDMI to the speaker. It's weird how it works. I don't know how it works, but I don't care because it's fucking vibes. Yeah. We spend like all of Amanda gets mad because we have an 85-inch TV downstairs, and we end up watching all of them up here because of this comfy-ass chair. And she's like, we don't even use this fucking massive TV that we have downstairs. Like, we'll sprinkle it in for sports.
For the
no
dogs.
big deal. Yeah, exactly.
Is that what I'm sleeping on tomorrow night when I come and stay at your house?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have 2 guest beds, but yeah, I mean, I would take the chair over the guest beds.
I'll take
probably.
the chair.
Trey's a chair guy. Trey will find the most comfy spot. Make it home.
Yeah.
Hey, that was young me. Old me needs a bed. This back don't hang like that.
I fell asleep here the other night and woke up. My neck hurt. I fucking sneezed earlier and pulled a muscle in my shoulder. Like legitimately pulled a fucking muscle in my shoulder. It's very bad. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Totally Biased Music. It's Blake, Trey, and Anthony. Today we are reviewing Abraxas. I'm hoping I pronounced that right, by Santana. And Anthony, what is the name of the movie? Is it Tucker and Dale or Dale and Tucker?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So we had a bit of a mix up. We were supposed to do a Coltrane album. Then we realized the Coltrane album was like fucking 15 minutes long and didn't really make sense for us to review. So we pivoted to a 1970s album, and I picked Abraxas by Santana, which kind of has some jazzy vibes to it.
So I would also agree.
I think it works kind of to fulfill both. But for those of you that aren't familiar, Abraxas is the second studio album by American rock band Santana, frontmanned by Carlos Santana. It was released on September 23rd, 1970 by Columbia Records. Became the band's first album to top the Billboard 200 in the United States. In 2020, Rolling Stone magazine ranked the album number 334 on its list of 500 greatest albums of all time. So this was my first sit down with a Santana album, listening all the way through. I mean, I've obviously heard a shit ton of Santana, right up my alley. Great guitar music, kind of a nice blend of psychedelic rock and jazz and Latin rock and blues, and there's just a lot of mashup of music types in here, and I thought it was really interesting to sit down. I will tell you guys now, spoiler alert, I really, really fucking enjoyed this and really liked this album, and probably listened to it like 3 or 4 times already. Like I listened to it. Yeah, I listened to it all day yesterday. I was playing WoW all day and was just had it up in the background. And then just now before we jumped on, I was like, you know what, let me give it another rinse. And so there's something, in each one of these songs that I really enjoy. not much I dislike, and I learned a lot reading about the album too. But what about you guys? Anthony, is this your first sit down with Santana?
Yeah, it is in an album standpoint. I mean, I've listened and watched his Woodstock set, but never really spent any time with any studio recordings that he's made. And yeah, this was an awesome pivot, great pivot from John Coltrane. We should do some jazz in the future, but like, I mean, psychedelic Latin jazz hybrid right here, you know? So I, like you, listened to this multiple times because one, my first listen, I was lost in it. You know, in other words, like the album flows together really well. So there's not a lot of definitive, there's a couple, but not a lot of definitive track end, next track starts. So I kind of got lost in there having to figure out where I was. But once I started to break it down, I really, really enjoy a lot of the production in here, a lot of the energy and dynamic changes, tempo changes that are in this album. And yeah, I think it's a great listen, you know, for anybody, anytime. So yeah, phenomenal pivot on this pick right here.
Nice. Trey, what about you?
Also my first time like listening to a full Santana album, but I think this has come up on the podcast before. But my very first concert was Santana at the Oak Mountain Amphitheater.
Sick.
Yeah. So my next door neighbor was a band director. I've always had a theory, and sorry, Uncle John, if you're listening to this, but I've always had a theory that he might have, you know, been a little bit more on the hippie side of things in his younger days. He's, you know, probably in his like late 60s now, so that is a little bit more like the flower power generation than like my parents. And like I remember going to the concert. It was me and his son and my sister and his daughter. And like it was just really fucking cool. I didn't know anything that was going on, and like halfway through, Carlos Santana went on this like super long speech about like preserving water and like preserving like native lands and things of that nature. And I was just like, oh, that's weird that he's going to talk about this like at a music show. Like I didn't understand. I was like, you know, 14, 15 years old. So like very nostalgic in some ways, and obviously there's some real classics on this record that just kind of like some of this guitar tone work that he does, it just feels like a warm hug. It's like very influenced with the blues, but it's also obviously like dripping in psychedelia, and you know, and not like coming out in 1972, like this is on the early tinge of some of that psychedelic work that like came to kind of define what we think of as, you know, like the early 70s and late 60s. So like Santana definitely was ahead of his time, and in multiple ways, but I really enjoyed this as well. Spoiler alert. It's just very vibey. It also, I don't know if we're gonna do this, but it does indeed ride in the gym.
Nice.
It picks up, slows down a little bit, kind of keeps your head bobbing. There's like this solo and like at the end of Black Magic Woman. Also the drums in this just go absolutely crazy. Like the bongos are really cool and like highlight a lot of like his guitar work, and yeah, it was a very enjoyable listen. So excited to get into it.
Yeah, I posted and deleted because I didn't want to spoil my opinions, but I'm sure you guys already saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
That I feel like Santana is a better Prince. I feel like he does the blend better. He plays guitar better. There's not these 80s synth influences. Is that a safe comparison, or do you think that's out of line?
Well,
I think it's a different era comparison.
It's a different era.
Yeah, and not like because Prince deserves more respect than what you're giving there. I'm not saying that Prince doesn't deserve respect, but just like I think they're two entirely different things. It's like comparing apples to steaks. You know what I mean?
It's the same type of like.
You didn't pick another fruit to say that.
Yeah. Apples and steaks.
So you don't even think they're like in the same category of food? You think they're that different?
No. Yeah, I think this is wildly different music.
Well,
interesting.
And you know, Prince, I think like that album was at least trying to angle in some direction. This one really kind of it goes in many directions, but I think it's so clean and so like put together so well that I mean I think it resonates a lot more because of that open-ended angle versus more kind of Prince, whatever you want to call Prince, that funk fusion.
Yeah. It's also just not pop structured at all, and like Prince is very much pop structured music.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Who's the steak and who's the apple? I'm curious.
I mean, for me, Santana's definitely the steak and Prince is an apple.
Yeah, exactly. I'll eat it every now and then, but like I guess steak you can go for every night if you had it.
This is what I want. If we're being honest, like I want the steak.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. Okay, well, getting into it. So, track 1, "Singing Winds, Crying Beasts." I was gonna. This is an instrumental. There's 5 instrumentals on this album, which I thought was honestly great. I really enjoyed it. But this was written by Michael Carabello, which is their percussionist. And you know what's interesting? I don't know if you guys looked at the writing credits at all, but Santana only has 2 writing credits on this album, which I thought was super interesting. But yeah, I think it's a great intro track. It's very much drums / space, Grateful Dead-esque. That was the vibe I got from it. Just this psychedelic, trippy, walking through the forest experience and some type of outer body experience music. And I think it's a great. There's a little bit of like at the beginning, a little bit of Santana guitar wailing, like kind of off in the distance, and kind of it's like whispering into your ear a little bit, but the rest is just pianos and drums. And thought it was a really. I started echoing really bad from your mic, Trey.
yeah, sorry, that's because I didn't turn my headphones way up.
But anyway, yeah.
Turn my headphones up.
Turn my shit up.
I think it's a great intro track. So, what did you guys think of it? I didn't have it as a top 3 track, but I really liked it as an intro track.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the pianos and chimes is a great way to kind of just cleanse your palate for what you're about to experience, right? And yeah, it has that very like avant-garde kind of approach at the beginning, and I'm glad the album doesn't stay in that lane. It just dips into it every now and then. But yeah, a great showcase and a great like. It's not a hyper dynamic track. It's very kind of like run of the mill, like even keel to a point. Because again, I think this album truly has a lot of direction, a lot of build up, come downs. Like it's very appropriate. So yeah, excellent intro.
Yeah, good warm up.
Yeah, that, and then like as it does kind of build, there's also this really cool panning technique, like in stereo, from like side to side. Like the chimes will kind of move back and forth, and like the wailing, like he talked about, kind of feels like it's off in the distance, and it kind of like becomes more to the forefront of the song, a little over the halfway point. Also, don't have it as a top track, but it's fantastic. Also, we got to talk about song titles here. Like the song titles on this record are awesome.
Yeah.
Singing Winds Crying. Yeah, like Singing Winds Crying. Yeah, Abraxas is cool. I actually I have the what it's from good. Pulled up, and we can talk about that later. But yeah, no, it's great song. Not in my top.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's like I don't even know how to. It like makes me want to go like sit in the grass like in my yard. It makes me want to like touch the earth and just like feel the earth, you know. I don't know why, that's just the vibe I get from it. Okay, track 2, Black Magic Woman, Gypsy Queen. So I am late to this train. I did not know this was a Fleetwood Mac song. I had zero idea. I literally always thought it was a Santana song, but it's written Black Magic Woman written by Peter Green, and then Gypsy Queen by Gabor Sazbo, I think is how you pronounce that. But yeah, this is a fucking classic. This is a classic, man. I didn't realize, I had no idea this is a Fleetwood Mac song, but I'm going to pretend I don't know that. I'm just going to keep listening to the Santana version, because as mainstream as it is, I think I had to put this in my top tracks because it just reminds me like of Santana. It's just like a stereotypical Santana song. I got to imagine it's his most popular song. Let me check, actually.
Yeah, I think no doubt.
No, it's probably that song with Chad Kroger.
Oh,
is it that song with Chad Kroger?
I forget.
Why don't the song with Chad Kroger. That's what that song is called.
Why don't you and I get together? Fly to the moon, straight on to heaven.
It's Maria. That's his most popular song. But yeah, I think Black Magic Woman into Gypsy Queen, great second track. He's shredding. This is really where he's showcasing his guitar work, and yeah, it's just I love the drums in it too. This just feels so Latin American to me. You know, it's like this just doesn't work as a Fleetwood Mac song to me, man. This is Latin American music right here. Right? That's how I feel about it.
Here's a thought.
Well, that's because not much works as Fleetwood Mac songs. But it just sounds like he's dancing on these guitar licks. Like it's just like slightly like just like tiptoeing around it. And even though it comes kind of early in the song, like that first like lyric, like it's almost like you're waiting for me, because I know the song, pretty well. Like you're kind of waiting for it, and is like the voice just kind of like angelically dips and like kind of is almost just like one of the instruments.
So
it's just like riding into it, and it's just like a whisper. But yeah, this is a great song. Also not in my top.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
Anthony, what do you
older
think?
album, I think,
Probably because of the familiarity, and then there's like other things that really popped out where I was like, oh, holy shit, this is cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this song a whole lot. Yeah, I also had no idea that it was a Fleetwood Mac track, but like, Blake, you hit it on the head. Like, this is Latin music. Why wasn't Santana for this halftime show for the Super Bowl? I looked up, he's never played a Super Bowl halftime show, and like, I can only imagine the difference in response, hopefully, from the world. They shouldn't have been up in arms anyway, but don't you think that would have been pretty interesting?
Yeah, for him to bring out Santana. It would have been,
no,
that would have been really
Santana
sick.
headline.
Oh, just him do it himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a little past that age, my friend.
Dude, I saw the Who.
He's still
He was
playing.
old when I
Yes,
he was
so
he's
old
still
when
playing.
I saw him.
There's been many old people, but anyway. So Black Magic.
He's got to be 90, right?
No way. He's playing. He's playing still, I think.
Sorry,
I
continue.
don't know. But so no, I wrote the beginning of Black Magic Woman, or beginning of this track. It has listening through this album gave me a lot of feelings towards like bands like The Doors from the 60s, The Who, Led Zeppelin. Like there's a song later on where it's not Santana singing, but it gives me major Robert Plant vibes, But this song really kind of kicks up the album for me. Like the first track's kind of right in the middle, but then it's going to take you places. This song will. And that the ending's super heavy. So, I mean, I'm into this Black Magic Woman, Gypsy Queen hybrid. I'm glad they kept them together too. I mean, that's a pretty distinct choice, but yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, and the way that it transitions into Gypsy Queen with that like that really high note and then just drops right into it's fucking very cool.
And then we get into number 3, Oi Como Va. And this is Oi Como Va, I think.
Oye, como va?
Oye, como va.
Yeah, Como Va. There's no accent above the E. Maybe that's a Spotify problem.
Yeah.
But this is written by Tito Puente, and this is the most played song on this album, which was shocking to me. But this is like, I don't even know how to describe it. Again, this is like such great Latin American music. It makes you want to dance. I think his guitar playing, like I don't know if it's like maracas or like something is going along with the drums that makes you just want to bob your head.
I think I know what it is.
Dance.
It's that instrument. I don't know the name of it, but you hold it up.
It's a little beads.
You rub you like run a stick over the ridges, and it's like, I don't know what it's called, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, and I just like his guitar over this is so nice, dude. It's not an instrumental, but like it kind of feels like an instrumental song. And yeah, I just get lost in it. I just like I find myself like repeating the beat, kind of moving my head to it and saying "Oye como va" in my head over and over again. So I also had this as one of my top tracks. What did you guys think?
Trey?
I definitely have this as one of my top tracks. This just feels like Miami. For the little bit of time that I've spent in Miami, this is just like a late Miami night. You're like walking down the block, maybe you're grabbing a little something to eat, and you just hear a little tune coming from like a little house party or something, and your shoulders just bop around. But like, it's fun, it's upbeat. Also, the guitar work is like kind of like incendiary, as they would say from Almost Famous. Like the way that he just like plays these really quick like lightning notes that like then drop down into like kind of more of like an uplifting situation is very fucking cool. Also, I looked up what Oye Como Va means in English, and it just means listen to how it goes or hear how it goes. So it's
I will
kind of like,
I will, Santana.
Yeah, done.
Thank you.
Got you, brother.
Also, the like whatever keys are being played here, it's not a piano, but it's like a It's almost like
an
an
organ.
An organ,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
yeah,
the
Or like
must be.
or like a Hammond or something.
Yeah, that shit is super tight too. That's like its own. It's like they give the chance for Santana playing guitar to shine, and then they go to the keys and they get their own part, and then it goes back to Santana. Like it's a nice back and forth they have going on.
Just a jam, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
buddy.
the track you move to,
Anthony?
You know, it's the track you move to. And like for me, that is something that, yeah, you can get lost in and loop it back. So I could see why this has, you know, the most view or most listens. I mean, it's probably the most listenable track on here, though I would argue a lot. This album is very listenable. But yeah, that song in itself, you could play that for anybody and they're gonna bounce. They're gonna move some way. Right. Not my top track,
true.
but it's a solid one.
Next we had Incident at Neshaber, which is one of the songs written by Carlos Santana. And oddly enough, I hate to say this is one of the lowlights on the album for me. I like there's parts where it's like it gets kind of rocky, like there's heavy guitar here. But the song is kind of all over the place. Like I can't really catch a tempo. I can't really catch a vibe. And then at like 3 minutes, it slows down a ton and then kind of drops and gets like, you know, lullaby-y and like it's good. But like as compared to everything else, it just, I don't know. I was getting too much whiplash listening to this song. You guys are both laughing. Is this one of your top tracks?
Yes. This is my favorite song by far.
For sure. For sure.
This song's like pure energy, man. They're just wailing on their respective instruments. It reminds me a lot of, you know, what was to come from Fish and like Frank Zappa, and you better hope that we don't get that eclectic pick, because I have a band that is pretty similar to this vibe that I'm really excited about, and I really hope that we get it. But yeah, I loved this song. Like I felt like I could, you know, run through a brick wall listening to this. Especially when it comes back into that like almost like a heavy rock riff to like kind of ground you out, and then they just take off again. Yeah. This is a big one for me.
Yeah, I mean it's the straight up Journey track on this album, you know, and like as I was listening to it, I was kind of trying to picture, you know, when is there going to be a close to kind of end a side of an album too? And this is the closer of side A, you know, and I mean, fast jazz, drum and bass, building it low, building it back up, heavy keys with that 70s kind of synth or whatever organ is playing. Yeah, I fucking love it. You know, I wrote next to this, there's a guitar serenade in the middle of this track too, which again, when you listen to the first, what was the translation to Oye Como Va? And yeah, just listen. Just let the sounds wash over you and let it go, and know that it's going to get landed. Because yeah, beautiful, beautiful track. And yeah, I was glad to see too that this was one written by Santana. Because yeah, when I looked at the liner notes, I was kind of taken aback too. I was like, okay, everyone's kind of contributing. There's covers and everything, but when he shines, he definitely does that. So yeah, this is like my number one track.
Yeah, I have it at number one as well. Blake, just so you know, we can see your text messages. So,
it's
like
not.
If someone goes back, back and pulls it up and zooms in and then like cleans it up, you know, just in case you're committing a crime. I just want to make sure you know.
I'm getting the categories ready for the Wheel of Fate time, so I had to go
judgment.
back.
I just want to make sure that you knew that we could see them.
Yeah,
you know?
that's good. That's good.
I know you'd be planning crimes out here.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say I do get very jazz vibes in the orientation of the song, in the sense that it makes no fucking sense, which is kind of how jazz songs work. So, okay, the next one we have is, I have to speak more Spanish, man. Se acabó. You guys think I nailed that?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
They say it nice. Long, but they say it so fast that I'm like, are they even breaking?
Yeah. Little overlap with the French there, those Latin based languages, you know. Okay, this was by Jose Araiz. He was the one that wrote it. I guess he played drums with Santana. I guess he was the drummer for Santana during this album, or one of the drummers. This is a great song. This is a great song with Carlos really fucking ripping. This is kind of a similar like structure. The drum structure, I think, is what is like feels jazzy to me. This high paced, like kind of, I don't know, like scat type drum line going here, but I do love that Santana gets to rip on this song, and I found it really enjoyable. It wasn't a top track, but I did like it a lot. What did you guys think?
I like the song. I feel like some of the things that you dislike about Incident and Neshabur or Bar, however I'm supposed to say that, and I apologize, is like kind of some of what I hear on this, as far as it kind of just being a little out there, a little unstructured, and kind of crazy. So I don't have this as a top, but I mean, I don't really have any like bottom tracks, but I guess I would have to put this in that category.
All right, that's fair. This feels like a little bit of retaliation for my my choice, but that's okay.
Well,
it's not. I promise.
Well, I like this track too, Blake. So I mean, it is a percussion kind of showcase early on in this song, and I think it does also kind of bring you back into this album. You know, if you're listening to it on vinyl, you're flipping sides, and this kind of starts it off. It's another kind of re-intro work with drums, but I love how the production on this album is phenomenal, but I love the choices of, you know, slowly bringing in instruments or letting other people drive here and there, because they do all showcase their talents throughout this. But yeah, I like this song.
Nice. Next we go into Mother's Daughter, Greg Rowley song. And let me tell you something. Song is a fucking ripper, bro. This is probably my favorite song on the album. It is a jam. I think it's Greg Rowley singing. Yeah. I don't think it's Santana, and I think his voice is great. I think his singing is excellent on this song. It's a rock song through and through to me. But really, really enjoyed this song. It's one of the least played songs on the album, which is shocking to me. And I wonder if that's because it's not an instrumental, or I don't know what it is, but I really enjoyed this song a lot.
This sounds like a 70s classic rock like hit. I agree. It's in my top 3. It's fantastic. Like, it almost sounds, you know, it sounds like in that like same iconic vein as a lot of those songs in the 70s. You know, like it almost sounds like a Zeppelin song in some ways. That's kind of what, and it's like a very big like breath of not fresh air, like it's been bad, but just like it's so different from a lot of everything else that's on this record. Yeah, it's an absolute ripper. I want to say that I didn't like it because you liked it, but
yeah, you had to fight that, huh?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah. It's so like, it feels so like American rock to me. Like this is where like the Latin America drops off and just sounds like an American rock song.
Yeah, I mean, and like I wrote next to this is Led Zeppelin vibes for sure. I mean, it's very distinct, but it's also of that time too, you know, and I think it does say a lot for this band. Again, letting somebody else take the wheel and drive and write and sing, you know, sing with a shitload of energy too, you know, I mean, they're bringing it on every level. It's not one of my favorite tracks, but I do appreciate it, you know, and I'm curious to, like, this being one of the few tracks with vocals on it, you know, it does some interesting things vocally, where it's like, it's called The Mother's Daughter. That's what the track's called. And towards the end of the track, the guy sings like, you know, something along the lines of, why aren't you like your mother? She was a great person, or something like that, you know? And it just kind of, it brings me to the thought of the comment that you get from people trying to be a little smart ass and say, you know, you're just like your father. You're just like your mother. You're your mother's daughter. You know, so like that kind of rubbed me wrong, but I like the track. I really do. Brings a lot of energy where it's needed.
That's fair.
Nice.
Yeah, I never get anything. People never tell me I'm like my dad or my mom, so I don't really ever have to deal with that. But it must be tough for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so track 7, track 3 on side 2, Samba Party. I'm gonna call it Samba Party is basically what it is. And this is the second song written by Santana. Straight instrumental. This is the blues track, man. This is like, we're really genre bouncing in this album, which I love so much. Like there's so many pieces of different music in here, but this is a blues song through and through, and he's playing his guitar like a blues artist, and beautiful song. One of the most played, second most played on the album, which is shocking to me again. But I really loved it. It's an honorable mention for me. probably squeak my way. Could probably swap it out with Black Magic Woman, to be honest, but I really, really like this song. It's a nice reset, nice blues vibe, and slows things down a bit. So huge fan of this song. Trey, what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of like whiplash, like as far as its pecking order in the album, but it is lovely. It's just a lovely little like backyard blues song. Reminds me of those old Gips days, you know, that man playing guitar, this man playing guitar, like
True.
obviously Santana a little bit more skilled, but yeah, and then like once again you kind of have those like Latin drums kind of making it like its own fusion thing with like Latin music and American blues music. So yeah, it's fantastic. Honorable mention as well.
Yeah, this one's up there for me in the top. I mean, it's a beautiful instrumental track that you can get lost in. I think you can feel like, I mean, multiple influences in this track, you know, from the samba guitars or kind of like the bongo like feel. And then again, Santana just serenading you with his guitar. Yeah, I mean, it's a great fusion track. I love where it's placed. I love it coming after, cause they, you know, I mean, this last side, this B side of the album is pretty instrumental, journey, vocalish, energy track back to you know, I mean, it does what it needs to. So yeah, I like this track.
Very nice. Anthony, do you want us to pause so you can check on your dog?
No.
No. Okay.
Editing. She's gonna be okay.
All right.
Have you tried hitting the dog?
Yeah, I've heard that really works.
I've heard that works really well.
No, let's not joke. Yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Way to ruin the vibes, Trey. Not funny.
Obviously Anthony doesn't hit dogs.
Well, we know that. Do the listeners know that? Now they do.
I hope you're feeling better. Let's go to
track 8 or track 4 on side 2. Hope you're feeling better. Another Greg Rowley song. This also, I think we got a theme going with Greg Rowley here. Feels like his songs. This is another like Zeppelin type rock song to me. His singing, the instrumental to it, definitely feels like an American rock song, and I thought it was good. I think Samba Party being in between this sandwich, this rock sandwich, is like the perfect spot for it. And I think that Hope You're Feeling Better is kind of like, I kind of consider it the closing track. Like it feels like a closing track to me because the last song is like a minute and a half, doesn't really count as a song. But yeah, also really enjoyed it. Another high note. Again, not many low notes on this album, man. It kind of just keeps driving.
Yeah, I figured like we kind of were abandoning the whole bottom 3 thing with this one. I kind of felt like y'all were probably gonna be on that same tip, but I think it's really clever that they split those 2 songs up. Like as you're putting together this track list in the studio, I'm sure the temptation to put the 2 songs that are very similar to each other is strong, but like throwing in that blues track and that kind of like, you know, riding the wave a little bit more and then letting you bring the energy back up with this. Kind of makes it where it doesn't become one dimensional. Like you're still kind of really getting through, like moving through all these albums or all these genres and like making it more of a fusion record. So yeah, I Hope You're Feeling Better. Also a very good song. I hate to say it again, but honorable mention, you know?
Yeah, I'm really interested. Like it says he was a keyboardist, singer, and songwriter, served as the lead singer for Santana and Journey, both of which he co-founded. But it's interesting.
That's a
You're not a big Journey guy?
I'm kidding. Journey's great.
I don't know. It's interesting because his songs sound like they just don't sound like Journey songs to me. I don't know. They sound like real rock songs. Right. Anyway, Anthony.
Well, it's like, but they don't even like when you think of Santana, you don't think of that type of music, or I didn't, at least up to this point, you know, because like it would be interesting to, you know, play this song for somebody and be like, okay, you know, do you recognize the artist in this track? Because no one's going to recognize this Santana track, but it's fucking solid. It's not one of my tops, but, you know, it's a great classic 70s rock song from 1970. So, I mean, you might say Santana started this 70s movement. But
it was very early. Very early 70s.
I think that's not out of pocket.
Yeah. I mean, like with the bands of the time, there are the radio bands are the big ones that continue to get airplay to this day. But like the fact that we're hearing this for the first time, what is it, 55 years later? And it's banging still for a first listen. I mean, that just speaks highly of this album and the guys who made it too. So yeah, solid track, but not one of my tops. Good.
55 years. That's so
56
crazy,
years,
dude.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We're so old.
I know, right? I don't think I've ever listened to a Journey album from front to back. Now that I think
might
about
be
it,
on the list. They might have an album that starts with the C.
we might have to.
Hey, really
Trey's
quick,
frantically searching to see if Journey has album.
Sidebar. I have to list out the albums that start with a C because that's like a crazy category, and like the amount of albums that you're gonna recognize that start with the C is like it's enormous.
Wow.
So when we get there, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But just want to bring that up.
Good.
Okay, last song, El Nicoya, another Jose Arise song. Instrumental, minute and a half, closing track on the album. It's just there for me. You know? It's just a drum track. It's just there. It's a send off. It's kind of like I think, pairing it with Singing Winds, Crying Beasts, it works as an opener closer combo there, kind of the same vibe. But yeah, no real strong opinions on it. It really only lasts for like a minute and 15 seconds too. Like it kind of just starts and then trails off. So no strong opinions.
It's a great minute and 15 seconds, though, you have to say. I mean, for me, this song is like the celebratory like ending of this album. Like it gives me massive like outdoor kind of ceremonial vibes, people dancing around with the drum and guitar, just like in person, just really feeling it out. So like I really like
bonfire.
Yeah, definitely.
Bonfire going on. Nice. Trey?
Love a bonfire. Yeah, kind of. It's definitely like in more of an outro track type of camp. But I can see kind of it. It's like it's nice to go out with what it started, as far as like it not ending on "Hope You're Feeling Better," like it going out with more of like the Latin infused, like drums and just kind of like a little bit of a goodbye wave. And it also, if you're like looping the album, it really makes it flow from last track to first track. Like it kind of makes it into a full circle, which is super nice. So yeah, I liked it. Not on my top though.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and I think since you guys said before we started, well, here, let's do this. Let's get into ratings. I'm gonna say it's a 9. I think I went a 9 our last album. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but it's really good, man. Like there's really not much to dislike about this album. Even the songs that I didn't particularly enjoy, I still really love the instrumentation of them. And man, this is great. I'm glad we got to pivot to it and do this. And what I was going to say is, since you guys texted me individually prior to this and said, what's better, this or Purple Rain, I'm going to say this.
I didn't send that text message. Did you send that text message?
You said since they're very similar in vibe, theme, and composition, you have to pick one, and I'm picking Abraxas. So that's my final verdict. Yeah. Trey?
All right, so I'm going to give it an 8.5. It's teetering on a 9 for me. I don't know why I've never listened to this all the way through. Definitely makes me want to listen to more Santana and more Latin music in general. Obviously that's kind of a little bit at the forefront of the zeitgeist right now with Bad Bunny's halftime show. And like, you might be, really want to learn Spanish so I can kind of get into it more. But yeah, also, so Abraxas is taken from a line from a book that was published in 1919. And it said in the line is, "We stood before it and began to freeze inside from the exertion. We questioned the painting, berated it, made love to it, prayed to it. We called it mother, called it whore and slut, called it our beloved, called it Abraxas." Which is a pretty heady little quote that we pulled that from. The name of that book is Demian. So
interesting.
Yeah, might add that to the list.
Yeah, there you go. He's got a lot of like his themes. He has an album called Shaman. He has an album called Supernatural. Like kind of all
very
similar
psychedelic.
Dude has been there and back for sure.
Dance of the Rainbow Serpent is another name.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, that does sound. But yeah, he's an enigma. I mean, he's one of one, and like again, I don't think he's had his. I mean, the fact that he's still alive, still performing, like I don't feel like he's been celebrated. In a sense. Now, I know people appreciate him, but like, at least we're doing something. We're trying to do our part.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Yeah.
What did you rate it?
I give this album a 9. 9 out of 10.
Very nice.
Nice.
Good pivot. Good pivot. I'm glad that it worked out.
Yeah, great pivot. Great pivot. I think that we could do a classic jazz album one day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find the right one for sure.
I don't know if that one was the one.
Speaking of Latin America, I don't know if you guys saw this. There's some video of some girl on Instagram, and she's like, me after Bad Bunny shouted out Canada, and she's like, oh, where am I from? I'm from Canada. She says it with a Latin accent. Canada. So good.
That's kind of fantastic.
Okay, let's get into rides or dies. Trey, you can lead us off. You interesting pick. You got an interesting pick.
All right, listen, here's the deal. So I was very tempted to send you a song from the album that I really hope that we get to do in our next go round, but at the last minute I resisted that temptation. And I picked this song that my roommate played for me when I got home today. It is by Zach Top, and the song is what's the name of the song, Blake?
You have it up, don't you? I don't have it.
It sounds like the radio.
It sounds like the radio.
Is the name of this? Is the name of this song? So, what did y'all think?
I mean, hey, you know me on my country grind, bro. I fucking dig it. I think it's great. Hard rides.
I thought you would. You're not who I was worried about.
Yeah, you knew I was gonna dig it. Hard rides, Anthony.
If you're worried about me, you should be, because I'm not a fan of this song. There are many reasons. One, I've said this before, Blake could have written this song better. And Blake, I challenge you, write us a country song. I know you've got it in you.
All right.
Do it.
All right, I can do that.
I would really
doesn't
like
have
to
to be
hear that
about
too.
anything, right? I mean, Zach Top, who writes about or continues to sing about the radio in 94, he's referencing back to 94. Zach Top was born in 1997. Okay, so
I
Blake,
knew you were going to pull that.
Blake, you can talk about the 20s, you can talk about the 30s, talk about whatever you want. But,
Fuck yeah,
this song
I'm going
does not ride for me, Trey.
Well, that's like the guy who wrote Summer of '69 or sang Summer of '69 wasn't Brian Adams.
John
He was
Mellencamp.
like 0, or whomever. Oh, fucking that song sucks. Okay, that's all right.
But he was so close. He could have just 97. Maybe it just doesn't roll off the tongue. I don't know.
Yeah, or 2004. You could have said 2004.
I'm sorry for 2004. Said Ruben Studdard.
Anthony, you brought a song from an artist we've reviewed on the pod before.
Yes, so L1011, pretty eclectic little duo. It's two guys, one's a drummer, one's he plays the keytar, I think. No. He has a double neck guitar bass, but they are bringing synths out in this track. This track's called Uncanny Valley Girl. And it's from their new album that's going to be coming out next month, I believe, either April or March. I really enjoyed this track. It does something around, it's a longer track. I'm expecting to hear a little bit about that, but like this track could end at 2:40, and it kind of does, but then it keeps going, and I love that so much. So I wanted to see what y'all think. Trey, we haven't talked L1011 ever, but Blake and I did review their self-titled album, and I can't remember what he thought about it, but what y'all think?
I think we have discussed this band and how much I enjoy them.
Okay, good.
I think this band is fantastic, and I kind of forgot about them. And like, it's springtime, there's close to springtime, kind of. It's basically springtime now in the current climate situation that we're in. And like, it's nice for these songs to kind of start popping up. I think the song's super energetic. It reminds me a little bit of SCS9. Also kind of has some hand drums going on, so it's a good segue coming off of Santana. So it gets a hard rides for me.
Nice. Yeah, I don't remember. I thought I was kind of like in the middle on L1011 when we reviewed it. That was for you old TBM heads. That was many moons ago, and it was just me and Anthony. So that's in the archive somewhere. But I'd like the song. It's alright. I really enjoyed this. I can't for the life of me remember how I felt about the whole album. I'd have to go back and re-listen to the album.
But you used the word jarring a few times, but
probably.
I think it was still. I think overall, I think it was an interesting listen on your end.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I went down memory lane with my pick, and this was, I knew Trey would like the trip down memory lane. I went down memory lane with Lace Up a while back, so I was listening to Live at the Vic Theater by Cage the Elephant recently on my way home, and I picked the intro to it, which is In One Ear. I saw Cage at the Vic in Chicago. Great historic venue. It was a great show. It was back when they were still a grunge band, and so I picked a song that had a grungy vibe. There's screaming. It's heavy rock music. I will forever love the first two Cage the Elephant albums. Will forever love this live album. So I had to bring it. Had to rehash it. Go down memory lane. So Trey, what did you think going back down that alley?
Makes me sad, man. What this band could have been.
I know.
The talent that Matt Schultz had and the energy that they had in a live setting. And, they just, they made an artistic decision and that one guitar player left and they, whatever. But this song is fantastic. This album is great. I had the CD, I think. It's really cool that y'all got to go see them at the Vic. I remember when you got to do that. So, yeah, it's a ride for me, but it's like anytime you listen to Cage the Elephant, it's just a little sad.
And like old Arctic Monkeys too. Same vibe.
Yeah.
Same vibe. Mm-hmm. Anthony, what did you think?
So I'm not as versed in Cage the Elephant, truthfully. So were you at this show, Blake? Is this the same show?
Not this one.
Okay, gotcha.
No, that was I think a year prior.
Well, what was
a
the
year
show?
Or two prior.
They played. It was a Lala after party, right?
Yeah.
That you went to.
Yeah.
What was the vibe like? I mean, was it like? A
Dude,
lot of
back
energy.
Then,
yeah.
It was fucking mosh pits and stage diving and high energy and chaos and it was a fucking party for sure. Those shows were some of the best, dude. Those early Cage shows were some of the best.
Good. So I mean,
Blake and I wrote. Sorry.
No, I want to hear what you got to say.
Blake and I rode the rail for a Cage the Elephant show at Hangout, and like Matt Schultz came and like sang, grabbed our necks, and climbed over the top of us, and made a reference to some different things, and he was having fun.
Yeah,
he's wearing he was wearing like a Lakers like 2003 like NBA Finals shirt. He was dude. The guy was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, well, so hearing that they translate that energy because their music carries all that energy too. So yeah, it gets a rise from me. And Matt Schultz, that's the lead guy from Cage the Elephant, the front man. What does he do now?
Cage is still
he's a crooner. Yeah, they're still a band.
Okay.
They're just not good. I don't know how else to say it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it.
They're like pop crooner, like post pop. Like it's bad. I heard a song the other day on the radio. I actually almost texted you, Blake, and was like, "This is so sad. What's happened to this band?"
They came out with an album in 2024.
You should listen to the first Cage the Elephant album from front to back. It'll blow your mind. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it
for
called?
sure.
Is it called Cage the
Elephant?
Elephant?
It's called Cage the Elephant.
Yeah, it's self-titled.
Gotcha. I think y'all did that on the podcast too. Back even further back in the day. I think we did a Cage the Elephant episode. Is that right?
I think we did.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Before your time. All right. Now getting into the movie. Anthony, intro this interesting pick for us.
All right, here we go. So laughs are already happening. So what was my topic? I think I got a comedy. I think I got Spinner's Choice last time, but I ended up picking this comedy. This movie, so it came out in I don't even know. What year did this movie come out?
2010.
Okay, so perfect because I was in high school when this came out. And I remember watching it at my buddy's house for the first time. And I mean, we were all stoned and it was perfect setting for this movie because this is just slapstick comedy hilarity, packed into a horror movie. It leans into tropes of horror movies, but also it leans into like a lot of stereotypes that are just laced throughout. So I don't want to say any more. I want to hear what y'all got to say, and then I've got quotes and scenes and whatever else we need to talk about. So
it's called Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, by the way, for everybody. Go ahead, Trey.
God damn, this movie was funny. It was so funny, dude. Like, it was. I'm pulling up.
You just watched it before the podcast too, yeah.
I just finished it, honestly. And once again, I would like to say that whenever that happens, I would love to talk about the movie first. But it's always, Anthony. We know how your picks go. It's always kind of like a let's see what we got here.
Yeah,
usually good.
This was usually good. This was a Final Destination, but like with a plot and like not taking itself seriously. It was like almost like a spoof of those movies. But when the guy first impales himself when he's running, it's like, oh, okay, so that's how this is gonna go. Like you kind of figured that,
Yeah.
but my favorite quote of this whole thing is when Dale gets when she gets the package. Allison gets a little package of his fingers, and Dale looks at it and goes, "They cut off his bowling fingers." And then at the end they're doing a little bowling scene. But yeah, man, this was very funny, and there were some dumb parts, obviously, like the guy being like this, he'd being half hillbilly, like her being like, Chad, you're half hillbilly. That was particularly stupid, but like it was a race. But man, it had me in tears. I was laughing pretty much the entire time. So excellent comedy. I really miss bring back comedy.
It's a race.
Chad, you're half hillbilly.
Oh, fuck. No, dude, one of the funniest bits to me, I don't know why it was so fucking funny to me, but when that guy takes a drag of a cigarette that hits his inhaler.
Or when he throws the box of the chamomile tea stuff and he like recites exactly the ingredient.
But the first time when she's trying to pour him tea and he's like, it's that chamomile, I can't have that, it's bad for my asthma. Like, why?
You gotta have plot points. God. You gotta have plot points in there.
Yeah, it was just like a throwaway line that ended up becoming incredibly important. Which is really funny.
What was so funny is that I was watching it on Hulu, so there was commercials, and so it went to commercial. And when it came back from commercial, the first thing I heard was, "No, so if you have a recurring dream about sucking a dick, but you never do it, does that make you gay?" I thought that shit was so fucking funny, man.
This is a movie that the more, like, when you revisit it, you'll catch more. Like, you'll catch more, and then you'll catch stuff you've already seen before, and it will still make you laugh double time. It's a classic, in my opinion.
I wish that I would have seen, like, when you're like late high school, early college, and you kind of get on those movies where you just like watch them over and over again. Like mine was like Zombieland or Blow or, whatever. This would have been the perfect movie to rewatch over and over again with your friends. Yeah.
And I mean, the practical effects in this movie are fucking excellent. I mean, like,
they really
great. So I mean, it's like a high quality movie with lowbrow kind of stakes, I guess, but the comedy is fucking excellent throughout this thing.
Bro, the scene like where they all are fucking dying in the cabin, and like it's just so ridiculous when he like goes in with the fucking weed whacker and like he just kind of moves to the side, like he just lazily moves aside, he just ends up like sawing that girl's fucking whole face off. Like and
she's not dead, she's so absurd.
Oh fuck. Yeah,
and
it was
like,
good to laugh.
I think one of the most emotional parts of this movie is a funny moment where Tucker tells Dale, he's like, I don't even like fishing. It's like, what? You don't like fish? I mean, like, it's such a ridiculous statement, but like these guys are just guys, Like same thing at the gas station where he's walking with the scythe towards them, and they're like all down. He's like all creepy. Y'all going camping? They're like, get the fuck out of here. But
I do love how proud he is of his vacation home. Like he's so happy about it. When they get in, it's like covered in dust, like bones and murder and shit, and he's just like so happy to have a vacation home.
Hey, they take pride. Like that's the cool thing about this movie is like these characters are. I mean, like there's heart in this. It's not movie. You don't go to this movie for heart, but like. They're real people, or it feels like it, right? We've met these people at the gas station many times with a scythe in their hand.
100%. 100%. Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
Glad y'all liked it.
I'm glad we got to do a comedy.
Same. Along with comedies.
So, the Wheel of Fate and Time. Should we start with album or movie?
Trey's very excited. Let's go with Trey's because he wants to. I want to hear what he.
Yeah, he's very excited.
All right, so as you're pulling this up, I'm just gonna start listing off albums that start with the C. Okay, we got "Comfort Eagle" by Cake. We have Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper, so that's on the table. We have Chicago by Chicago. Also, Chicago has 11 albums with the name Chicago within a different number, so that's not happening.
Yeah,
Crosby, Stills, and Nash. We have Crash by Dave Matthews. We have The Chronic by Dr. Dre. We have Clapton's self-titled album. We have The Color and Shape by the Foo Fighters. There's just, dude, there's so many. Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses. Yeah. A Crow Left of the Murder by Incubus. There's all kinds of. There's all kinds of albums.
Is this an acceptable category for the future to throw out, or is it too overwhelming?
I would say absolutely.
Okay, good.
No, I think it's fun. Yeah, I mean, I had to Google obviously, and but because there was only a couple I could think of on my own, because my brain is just like a big piece of Swiss cheese. But spin that thing.
Here we go. Oh wait, the
Wheel of Fate.
Hang on, the Pixar eclectic pick album that starts with a C. First listen, deeply personal album, and Spinner's choice.
Okay, well, lucky for y'all. Oh, we got deeply personal album. All right,
come on, Trey. We want to hear this.
We got 3 options. Okay, one of them's a Bright Eyes album, and I know Blake's gonna hate that, but I really want to do it.
Okay, what are the other options?
The other options, I was kind of thinking of. Hold on, give me a second. Let me think about this. I'm thinking of 2.
No, Pine Grove.
We're gonna do Billy Breathes. No, we've already done Pine Grove. I'm not trying to have my feelings hurt. We're gonna do Billy Breathes by Fish.
Okay,
Billy Breathes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Billy Breathes is like the first studio Fish album that I ever listened to. Some of my favorite live songs are in there, and there's a couple really absolutely beautiful ballads. And there's a song in there that's only like a minute long called "Swept Away" that is like it's just an absolutely spiritual track. So, yeah, we will do Billy Breathes by Fish.
Alrighty. My picks for movies are a camp movie, which we discussed and I was interested in. Movie starting with a C, Stanley Kubrick movie, documentary, and Spinner's choice. Here we go.
Wheel of Fate in time, Wheel of Fate in time, Wheel of Fate in time. Sorry.
Here we go.
Stanley Kubrick movie. So you want to know something really interesting? The documentary I was going to do was Room 230, Room 237. Whatever the room is, 237. Yeah, the one about The Shining. Okay, so I feel like we've kind of we've talked The Shining. Everybody's talked The Shining a lot, and I haven't seen this one in a long time. So we're gonna do 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Hell yeah!
It's been a long time. I saw it when they re-released in IMAX like fucking 8 years ago. Probably I went and saw it. So yeah, that is what we're doing.
Hell yeah,
Anthony. I have an album that I would like for you to listen to. Okay. You can listen to it too, but I don't know if you're gonna enjoy it as much as Anthony will. This is what my eclectic pick was gonna be. Yeah. The name of the album is Visions of the Emerald Beyond by Mahavishnu Orchestra. It is absolutely fantastic. Blake, you should listen to it as well. I just don't know if you will.
Sounds very interesting. Sounds very eclectic.
Emerald, what?
Beyond.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, let me know what you think.
Okay. I shall do it.
All right. Well, cool. Look at that. We're like right in an hour. Perfect fucking timing.
Dialing it in.
Perfect timing. Wait, let me tell you what my camp movie was.
Okay.
Let me see.
This is what's great about the Wheel of Fate and time, especially now we've gotten in the rhythm.
Okay, so my camping movie was going to be Brokeback Mountain. Does that count?
Genius.
I would have accepted.
That would have been great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are camping. They're in a tent.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I just want to say, we haven't been using this. We haven't been using this platform much to hate on people, which I think we need to bring back because we used to do it a lot more. I just want to say
we've been way too positive recently.
We've been way too positive, so I just want to say
I was thinking about that earlier when this album was so good. I was like, we've got to find something that sucks.
I want to say I watched Deepwater Horizon, and John Malkovich is in that movie, and that dude sucks fucking ass as an actor, and every movie that he's in he fucking ruins. He's trying to do a southern accent in this movie, and it is so fucking bad. If the sound would translate, I would pull it up on YouTube to play for you guys right now. I'm gonna find a clip and send it to you. It's I almost turned the fucking movie off. I swear to God, I almost turned the movie off. It was
Thank
that
God, this
fucking
feels
bad.
so nice.
It was
Yeah,
awful.
thank you.
Fuck that guy and fuck that movie. That any scene that he's in. I just wanted to say that before we go. So
I have no opinion on this, but I like the negativity. We need some more.
Well,
Yeah,
Blake,
back.
what did you saw Scream 7 tonight, didn't you?
Oh no, we didn't end up going.
Okay, gotcha.
No,
Well,
no, we're
whenever
gonna
you
go
watch
next
it,
week.
let me know. Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good shit, boys. We will see you guys soon. Everybody else, see you guys later. Thanks for sticking around.
Peace.
Peace.